This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, I've currently got a 7-day free athlete assessment going on. You can jump in right now. Also, we talk about changing training philosophies and a bracket. What's the worst piece of equipment in the gym?
3, 2, 1. Let's talk about your T stance, mate.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dammy.
And me, Tom Hall.
There was nothing wrong with my stance on tea. Let's just say it
You're
as it is.
Northern, all right, and you need to love tea.
It doesn't taste of anything
South.
decent.
It
Doesn't
does.
taste
It
of
tastes
anything decent.
Warm goodness.
No,
So
it doesn't.
I'm just out of curiosity. Obviously, we have like separate check-in days and obviously clients and stuff. Is there a client or so throughout your day? Is there a client's check? So I would assume you're very similar to me. I do them in an order, like of the worst to the best. So unlucky if you get your Thursday morning, don't like you. I'm joking. And then it's just on my list.
He's not joking.
And then as you go through the day, is there somebody that you go and like make a cup of tea, make a cup of coffee, you go get your lunch during, or do something like that?
If only I had the time to think of such things, Tom. I don't.
You must
have the
notice
time.
it. You must notice it, because I notice it when I do.
Because I have different routines. I don't stick to the same routine. So some mornings I'll get up and I'll have my coffee straight away. Some mornings I'll get up and I'll just get stuck into straight into check-ins. Some mornings I have breakfast. Some mornings I don't. So I don't have a person I go, right, now I have my protein shake or now I have my breakfast. I don't do it. I just literally need to rattle through them as quickly as I can, because I've got that many to do during the day. And I'm like, fuck, I've got to get this done before 6. And I'm like, right, I want to start. I start at 8 all the way through till 6 for my check-ins. And I have at midday is the only time I have a regimented. I stop midday for lunch. That's it. Because I've skipped breakfast, so I'm a bit hungry. So that's why I have it earlier. Because I don't think midday is a good lunchtime. It's a bit too early in it for lunch. But anyway, it's another story. It's usually kind of like because I've missed breakfast. But yeah, I don't have that because I also do them in a different order each time. I kind of like go through things. Oh, I'll do them today. Oh, I'll do them now. Do them now, kind of thing. Sometimes I start with the ones that are the worst, and sometimes I wait until the end. I mix it up. I keep them guessing, you know. But then also as well, I get the annoying people who fucking hand it in late, and then they will have to wait till Friday, and that really fucks me off because Friday's my day off. I start to work on Friday. So yeah,
I started implementing if it's late, you're not hearing me from me until Monday.
that's the next step. Like we say that to people. We say, look, you got 2 strikes. First strike, I'll let you off, and I'll do it on a Friday. Second strike is I'm not doing it. And people know that, but you'd be surprised people still get it in late, and I still feel bad if they don't get one from me. But then I feel like, well, if I did just skip it, they wouldn't maybe skip as much. Maybe they'd taken the piss. I don't know. Who knows, Tom? But it just fucks me over because it doesn't fuck me over. It fucks me off and fucks me over because it's just a. It was just like. The clients who get the best results are the ones who check in on time every single week.
Yep.
Data, full everything's done. No, none of this. Oh, I didn't do it this week. Oh, I couldn't. Oh, I just guessed. Oh, I didn't know. No, they do it. They have it. And it just kind of, to me, says, well, I kind of know. I know what you think about your business if you're doing your check-ins late. Put it that way. Tells me everything I need to know. So it just leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because I kind of go, well, I know how much you don't give a shit about this. And you may argue, people may argue and say that that's a wrong stance to take, but I've yet to be proven wrong.
Well, you need to get that sour taste out of your mouth and have some nice tea. That's what's going to happen.
Tea won't solve the problem. Make it worse.
So, and this client, he does listen to the show and he knows who he is because I've said it before. Every single time. He's got a very calming kind of northern voice as well. So when he's got his check-in, and obviously he's making stellar progress right now. He's got High Rocks in a couple of weeks, something like that. And every single time I have to go get a nice cup of tea just to have a little listen. I whack it on like loud, and then I'll go make some tea, bring it back. Then it is also because his check-ins tend to be the longest. Not from my point of view, from his. Alex, if you're listening, he knows that. He has gotten better at shortening them down.
I do need to find this sort of like afternoon warm drink though, because you can't have coffee past 1 p.m.
Tea.
No,
Correct.
It's not shit. Tea. I need peppermint.
Maybe
it's peppermint. Maybe
no, not peppermint tea. No, I do that and I get too sleepy. Then I steal from my office. I steal peach green tea, which is quite nice.
Nah, green tea. I'm not. Nah, I can't do it.
Until
Can
if
you
you're
do
listening,
it?
I take a tea bag every single day and I take it home.
Do you know what is weird though? Is I do really like iced tea.
Yeah, you love
Like
iced tea. You neck
lemon
it like
lemon iced tea is the bomb, but
it's
normal
not.
tea with
It's
a bit of milk in
peach.
is minging. So
I've never known that about you. I've never
never,
knowingly,
ever,
never
never, ever been
like
into it. Ever.
you would never offer me a tea, whereas your wife would.
Oh yeah, she drinks tea. She drinks so much tea. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I
I
don't. I don't make a lot of tea, but that's one of the rare occasions I do. Actually, I had a cup of tea today. I was only because I had 2 coffees. I had like a 6:30 a.m. session. Look at me doing hybrid coaching. Hybrid coaching? No, just splitting your days correctly. 5 clients, boom, till 12, and then came back. But yeah, I had 2 coffees like before basically 9 o'clock, and I was like, I can't do another one. I'm gonna seriously lag, and I seriously lagged at about 2:30 p.m. I was like, I need a little sit down, get myself excited, and then Dan was like, oh, I can't do it till later. It's like, brilliant, I'm ready now. You made me do other work, so
busy,
annoyingly. Well, I went and did some filming. I felt like because the light was nice outside, so I just did some walkabout filming, like there. Yeah, thought why not? Fuck it.
Why not?
Why not?
Indeed,
I look like
mate.
an absolute weirdo walking around Maida Vale. Just because there's quite nice houses and it's quite nice light. As long as the light was facing back at me, I didn't have to think about it. And obviously, we know that content, we need to move. And if you're moving around, it's quite good. And then I can move the camera around real very easily. So yeah, I'm sure people will be really annoyed by probably what's going to come out in about 2 hours' time. So I end up doing that instead. Lovely. Oh, I've got a mention on this show because it's this week, Monday. If you found my free combine week, well done. If I found you, then even better. You haven't had to do anything. Just laid there and let it come to you. That's what Dan does. You got a whole week of me, 3 live calls. I'm going to explain everything in those in a little Facebook group. Really easy. You get a PDF with your whole week planned out if you actually want to fucking train for something. And online coaches, just a thing, it might be something to base your content around for a week. Just put it out there. I'm guaranteeing. Just in case you're struggling for something to do. You're going to be like, let's have some fun. All right, clients, look at this. So yeah, you're going to do, something like 12, 15 different tests over 4 days, assessments, as you will. And then literally every single one of you is going to have a one-to-one call. That's going to be a fun week before I come to Dubai. And I will tell you based on your results, what I think you should do to get better. Look at that. Lovely. Because you're already going to have the results. Look at that, Dan. Dan's going to be like, Tom, I've got a swing speed of, 106.
Yeah, Tom,
How
fix
do
my
I get
fucking
this
golf
faster?
swing, will you? Fix it without me doing any work. That'd be
Swing
great.
speed, I could do. I don't. The rest of it, playing and all that shit, no idea.
Mate, I've had my first lesson the other day, 1-to-1, back in.
But
1-to-1.
just on the back out, you can sign up, link in bio, or on my email, or whatever.
Yeah, go to Tom's link in bio, quick.
Do it
there now.
Or probably, fuck it. I'll put it in the description of the podcast. There you go.
Show description. I'm just going to use. I'm see what it looks like. Tom. I'm going to go to Tom's account now. Tom Hall Coaching. Where's he gone? Oh, tomhall.coach. That's the way. I've not found it there. It is there. Linktree. Go to his Linktree. You click it, and it is the one that says free 7-day combine challenge.
Correct. Yeah. Well done, Dan.
Interesting name for that. So yeah, there you go. I had my first golf lesson mates today. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, good. How was that?
It was good. Yeah, it's very good. It's helped straight away, which is always nice. But he got me on a little like force plate, and he's got all the fancy kit, up there. But it was good. It was nice. Didn't realize he was actually Tommy Fleetwood's coach.
Is it?
Yeah, one of Tommy Fleetwood's coaches.
Oh, one of. Yeah.
Well, obviously he's gonna have more than one in it. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna have like a coach, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that was quite interesting to hear that. What he was talking about with it all, and he identified straight away what I was doing wrong, and he was like, change that and fix it, and then played on Monday and didn't do the thing that I was fucking up all the time once. So that was good. Yeah, it's always nice when that worked. It just felt nice, just have bit more structure back. So I've got to actually go and practice at least once before I go back on Friday. So I'm playing again tomorrow. So maybe I'll just practice a bit tomorrow before.
Did you learn? Is he the guy that taught him his abbreviated swing? Because Tommy Fleetwood's got a very sudden stop.
Yeah, he doesn't go all the way through, does he?
Doesn't follow through. No, he stops like he's going to hit a low shot, but it doesn't. It's madness.
It doesn't go low, does it? Yeah,
no.
It's strange. Yeah, it's funny. I just like it was good talking to him because it sort of teaches you why certain things are happening and what's going on. And that's the thing I like about it. It's not just telling you what to change. It's like, well, this is why, this is what you're currently doing. This is how you're going to affect that by changing this. And yeah, it's good for me anyway, because I guess he sort of said that. He said, like, at your level, he's like, you want to know this stuff because you don't get to 4 handicap without being interested, kind of thing.
No.
And being able to fix stuff yourself. So he's like, this is why you're doing it. So that if it happened again, you know why and you can fix it all. Of course, my driver's completely fucked now, but that's fine. It's one of them, innit? You fix one thing with your irons and it fucks your driver up and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Because it feels like
they're two different swings.
Different swing, yeah. And then you try and implement something there, then you're like, no, what am I doing? And you're like, oh,
well, I wasn't even trying to implement it. It just carried, it must have just, subconsciously, because you do more iron shots in and around, it's just carried over there because I practiced it more. I was like, for fuck's sake, that pissed me off. But yeah, nice. Such is life. But yeah, that's the only thing that's gone on this week for me, mate. And then obviously I've been booking the golf for when you come over. So that's been
No. It's exciting, isn't it?
Not long now, is it? What is it? It's 17 days.
Is it 17 days? Fuck me. I need to do some work.
27th, isn't it? You come?
Yeah.
Not 17 days until 10th today.
I know. October is flying. It's ridiculous.
The whole year's fucking flying, let's be honest.
Madness. Yeah.
And
I
tell you what mad is that Eden Hazard's just retired from football. Seen that?
Is he?
32. Eden Hazard retired from football.
Wow.
Made enough money.
I'm surprised he didn't go over to Saudi for a little bit.
Unless he didn't get an offer.
Surely. Well, did you see Jordan Henderson? Whatever that match was like last week, and they were like, "Oh, so yeah, he's doing it to bring the game up there, and not doing it for the money. Not doing it for money at all. He played in front of 900 fans."
To be fair, that's about the amount of people who should be watching him. To be fair. I mean,
to be fair. And they were like there was like a podcast that was like looking at it, he was like, that is lower than the lowest average attendance in the National League.
Wow.
That's
awful,
bad. That's bad.
Awful, that. Yeah. I also saw I saw some clips of some women's football the other day as well. Wow. Yeah, that's
better than Jordan Henderson. So
well, yeah, exactly. There's that, but I mean, the goalkeeper. What was the goalkeeper? I can't remember what the goalkeeper did now. It was just like, again, I understand that like they want exposure and all this sort of stuff, but when you watch it, you go, yeah, but it isn't as good as National League football. So why is there more than 900 people watching it?
I will always want. I love National League football. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's just like the whole concept of quality has just gone out the window. It's not about quality; it's about whether you should or shouldn't watch it. Based on what? Yeah. Anyway, I guess it's the same with that Saudi league, isn't it? It's that whole thing of like, even if you bring the best players in the world, which you haven't because of Jordan Henderson, even if you bring good players out, there's no guarantee people are going to watch it. People don't care. Like, I'm not sat here going, "Oh, I'd love to watch the Saudi football on TV." No, couldn't give a shit.
No, nobody's watching.
It's weird, isn't it?
Nobody's watching it at all. No. All right.
Is it on TV in England at all? I can't imagine. No,
not at all.
I don't know if Sky had it or not. No.
Still, Sky just have Super Sunday every Sunday. I get so annoyed by them calling it that. I'm just like, it'll be Super Sunday, even though it's Forest versus Burnley, and that's the only game on that day.
Yeah.
Super Sunday, get them in. I'm like, oh my god, here's the football. It's the only way to keep up with all the David Mitchell sketch. You'll be interested to know, everybody, that I went to. I didn't post it, did I? My apologies. That It's Bagels. I went last week.
You didn't. You said you were going to, but you didn't.
No. Well, I said I was going to. I said I was going to post about it, but fuck. All right. So I went. Everybody, I'll probably go again this week. I reckon. But I went like later in the day, and it is clearly selling out in terms of what they're doing, because they only had 2 types of bagel left then.
Oh wow.
They had cinnamon raisin and
Good choice,
garlic. So I had the garlic one because I had the lox, which is just chunky salmon. That's all it is. But this was a recipe for if you did not want to kiss me, Dan, after having that bagel, because garlic bagel, smoked salmon, dill schmear, cream cheese, and then there was clearly like some pickled like red onion stuff on top of it as well, all mixed into a nice big bagel. Did you just pause through that whilst I was
Yeah, you just came back.
describing?
Yeah, you were just describing.
Everybody was there. Oh, mate, I'm gonna go there. I guess you're right. I was like, he's either really interested or or lost for words. Yeah, so smoked salmon, cream cheese and dill schmear, pickled red onion of some sort, some pickled shit, and the garlic bagel was the
it's bad enough when I have a Five Guys with like raw onion on. That's bad enough. Yeah. But the fact you had all that as well as pickled red onion, fucking hell, like that is a lot.
Yeah, like people who I was with were like, "You're not coming near me." I was like, "Lovely," but it was good. I would rustle down to It's Bagels in where is it? What's the big hill? Where's the big hill behind Regent's Park?
Hill.
There we go. Good job. Just testing Dan's geography. All right. All right. We're going to talk. What we're going to talk about? Hybrid training, not hybrid coaching, is what a lot of people will think we're talking about. Apparently, I'm surprised Dan wants to talk about this because I can't see him doing it.
No, I just seen a bit of a trend with coaches, well, chasing trends basically. I mean, fair enough. It's just all concept around like, I think having a training system that you believe in, and look, you know, your beliefs can change and all this sort of stuff, and kind of understand that. I think that's important to remember as well. And I just noticed this trend. I don't know if it's because a lot of coaches of our generation have just got, again, of a similar age, and as you get older, you start to realize that priorities change. I think as you're younger, you focus more on how you look, gaining more muscle, being leaner, 6-packs, and as you get a bit older, you maybe realize you want to be fitter and healthier, and there's more to life than just having more muscle, basically. I think everyone goes through that kind of evolution to some degree, except extreme bodybuilders, where they want to feel better and be maybe more of a jack of all trades than the master of one or whatever. But anyway, I just think that a lot of PTs are just following the trend of doing it, and as long as they do it for the right reasons and that they are actually committed to doing it in the long term, rather than just doing it and jumping on the trend because it's cool now to say, "I'll do some zone 2 cardio because that's all the rage." And these are the same PTs that were doing HIIT, right? And saying that HIIT was great. And all sort of shit. It's like, just like, if you believe in something, believe in it and stick to it, you know. And like, I think that's really important for your own training philosophy. So even when I was into more bodybuilding stuff, I still believe that people should train a certain way and they should move well and that sort of stuff. Even though now I do no training, I still believe that people should train well and move well and all this sort of stuff. Like with the golf stuff, I still believe that good golf training would be foundational movements. That
basically what's going to happen when we're out there, mate, is we're going to have to do. I think we'll do a speed hole, so we have to do fastest hole wins. And we'll do us like a whole 18, maybe fastest 18 wins, and you have to run and jog it in. I'm gonna smash you.
No, yeah, you'd smash me 100%. I better get training now. But yeah, it's just that whole thing of like, I just think that not enough coaches are putting out their philosophy when it comes to this sort of stuff and using those. I call them like dimmer switches of like how much cardio, how little cardio, how much, you know, mobility, movement stuff they put in. And like, I think as long as you have elements of that within your programs for everyone, that's great. But I just don't want to see coaches just jump on trend because it's cool, because I posted 3 times this week and didn't get any clients in. It's because I'm not talking about hybrid training. I need to talk about the hybrid. And they're just constantly changing their message all the time. And I'm like, No, it's worth sticking to something and being like, actually, no, look, this is the right way to go about it for these people and for your niche. Because I see bodybuilders done it. You know, you saw like remember Jordan Peters, a big bodybuilder. He started doing more cardio and did less bodybuilding. You just see so many people just copy him. It's like, no, he's doing it for his own reasons. Like, you do you, don't copy someone else. And then it's kind of like gone away a little bit. The bodybuilders doing cardio. It was big for a bit, and now it's gone away again. Like, not as in like stepper. I mean, like actual like conditioning. We'd call it conditioning.
How do you get? I've got some content coming out bastardizing the bodybuilders and steppers. So
yeah,
just like move around them. It's not cardio. Steps aren't cardio. What even are steps, Dan? Who would know?
No, who knows, mate? Yeah, Jesus. Closing the name, mate.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What are they for? But yeah, obviously I tend to agree because obviously my training philosophy I don't think really has changed in about 10 years, 12 years, whatever. It's definitely evolved but even with all the fucking cardio I'm doing now, obviously I do my little internal monologue series, and it's like series 2. It's coming out like over the next couple of weeks, and you'll see me still lift. I still do mobility. I still lift, and I still do shit in the gym, which would still everybody be like, oh, but that's for power athletes, and you do all this plyometric stuff. I was like, yeah, but it's just all walks of life. The gym training doesn't change that much for me. It's just like maybe the cardio-y stuff is changing, and the HIIT training.
I think it's also as much about what we do in our own training as much as what we did with clients. So, for example, when we first started at Third Space, when I was training clients in Third Space, we did full body. We weren't doing push leg. We weren't doing push pull, whatever. Even though that's how we were training, we were doing more bodybuilding style stuff, or we went for Olympic weightlifting. Our clients weren't doing cleans and snatches. And like, if I went back into training now, they'd be doing a very similar approach to that training in terms of full body stuff, because that's the best thing for the majority of people in that time. That's why I think that's what I mean. Trainers confused that, well, I'm doing this, so therefore all my clients need to do it. It's like, no, Tom's doing a triathlon. Not all of his clients are going to be like, right, let's do a triathlon now because Tom is. It's that whole thing of like, I think that's what I mean that's lost a little bit, is like people change their whole philosophy based on what they are doing just because they're jumping on the hybrid thing. It's like, that doesn't necessarily need to be the way, because not everyone can do that. Not everyone's strong enough. Not everyone can go run 5K. They need to do some weight training first before they're even in a position where their knees and ankles or whatever can handle it. But that's what I mean, is more so when we first started out, like I was just thinking then, like, my clients train full body, supersetted most movements because time and running there for an hour, all that sort of stuff.
It still runs in my philosophy. Literally, if you're a client of mine, know this: every single one of you will superset, probably tricep, every single time. I think we talked about this with Holly, and she was like, she would like never, ever. And I was like, from my perspective, it's kind of wasted time. I'm just like, you could be doing something. And like they talk about it on the CFFC, and obviously Mike Boyle talks about it, kind of like you pick like corresponding sets that don't have any effect. Essentially, it's just like, all right, I'm going to pick something. My shoulder press probably doesn't have an effect on my goblet squat or my RDL. It's like, because pushes and pulls are just like, all right, cool. They're probably going to correspond and not have an effect on for most of the population. Obviously, when we talk to Holly, she's probably into bodybuilding, so she's hopefully training to a certain amount of failure or something like that. That would be the only reason I would see for her not to do it, because she needs to basically be fatigued or she's going into some certain things. If there's not other than those reasons, I'd be like, all right, well, you're not trying to get your heart rate back down, so that's fine. Is that muscle group fatigued and we need it like producing power because you're going for forceful efforts and intent, then cool. If it's none of the above, then you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Let's work on a weak point. You're missing out on all those goons. The hybrid training is there's a lot more running. And I can talk about this at certain depth now. Because unfortunately the case of me training about 3.5 months in now of being cardio man. Still haven't really lost that much weight, just probably testament of how much I eat. Leaner though, Dan. Leaner. Changing shape, weirdly.
That's what you want.
Is the whole I guess it's a case of like testing yourself as well, because there still will be a lot of people who will be, the whole zone 2 thing has obviously a lot of like push. But I would say that some people can still run and you can still get those benefits at zone 3, because that is still an aerobic zone. I think people are taking it. I'm sure somebody's going to message me and be like, oh, I don't agree. It's like zone 2 can be fucking slow. And the tediance and annoyance of you going from zone 2 and having to walk and stuff like that is really fucking boring. So I don't mind some of my clients pushing to zone 3, because the thing is, you're just trying to separate aerobic and anaerobic. That's all you're trying to do, right? You're trying to get your body to compensate and get oxygenated blood so it can like basically give you energy again, so you can keep on going. As humans, we're meant to be able to run for fucking days. That's one of our good things about us. No other animal can really do it. And then if you're anaerobically, you're going to fucking break down. If you go anaerobic and you go up to zone 4, zone 5, you start to suffer. Your lap times won't be as quick. Your 1K times won't be as quick because you're anaerobic. It's basically, can you keep that steady pace? And you're probably going to be aerobically fit. So yeah, for a certain amount of time. Because yeah, I've been doing it, and yeah, it's a weird one. I like that style of training. The low and slow, like how you cook your meat, is pretty nice. But then if you want to get faster, is some of the things that people aren't doing are the threshold things, where you actually push yourself and push yourself hard. So I've got one of those tonight, and it will just be running at certain paces which I want to get to. But the same thing applies in the gym. So in terms of the hybrid training, if you're trying to apply that to running or cycling, or your hybrid where you do long and slow and then you're doing a threshold thing, same fucking thing applies for what you wanted to do when you're trying to PR with lifts. Because the chances are, if Dan comes to me, Tom, yeah, I'm really trying to get my 50 kilo bench. Cool, Dan, we'll get there, don't worry. But the chances are I'm not going to make you try and bench 50 kilos very often. I'm probably going to fill your like barn like with a bunch of get as much hay as possible. So that's going to be the volume and shit. You're going to do low and slow. You can do a bunch of low stuff like slowly, and then we're going to be like moving powerfully. Like I'm going to make you try and lift 35 kilos as hard and fast as possible to get quicker or more powerful and stuff like that. Yeah, which I don't think a lot of people, they don't realize the whole strength, speed, strength kind of bit in terms of power. And they'll just spend a lot of time trying to test their strength. We talked about that before, innit? Like, stop testing your strength. Don't need to test your strength. Like, most of the time, it's like your volume's done at 80%, and then I need some speed work or power work in there at some point as well, which is going to be beneficial. But somebody like Dan who wants to play golf should probably be doing like the 60% strength speed, or probably down to 40% lifts at speed. Speed strength would probably be the most.
Mate, 40% of a barbell, those I can't do that.
I know.
Barbell. So it's tough, isn't it?
It's usually those practice. I'm sure Isabel's got like I don't know, a play toy that you can.
I could find a broom or something. I'm sure a broom or something
handle
would be just as good. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, no, I think that's one thing that I've realized. Unfortunately, from spending more time with you, is like I said, the power stuff just probably translates over into other things more than just being powerful. So obviously, it's about golf being better, being more powerful is useful, but I think it actually translates over to anyone looking to increase overall strength. I think a lot of people hit strength plateaus, and you speak to them, oh, how are you training? Well, I'm just doing 3s and 2s and 1s. I'm like, okay, well, you probably just plateaued that lift at that rep range because you're absolutely fucked from doing it. Like, why don't you just start doing some power, some higher rep ranges, and you might find that you'll come back to do 3s and 2s and 1s, and you might feel better. Because people don't look at that power element of the strength movements that they're doing. They don't understand that whole, like, actually, hang on, if I can move this quicker.
And a really, really simple way to think about this, you can stand by this if you want, is if people are like, oh, what are you talking about there? Strength, speed, and speed, strength. And it's like you bring down the weight enough, right? So strength, speed, you'll have enough weight on the bar to make it look like you're lifting something. Like your form will be slightly different from when it was body weight. A speed strength or speed rep looks like you've fucking got nothing on your back. Like you would be like, boom, boom, looks like a bodyweight squat, or it looks like a crisp kind of squat, and it doesn't look like you've got that much on it. There's just that kind of difference. And you'll know it once you do it, right? There's that concerted effort. When somebody back squats, they might have a little, hip height kind of thing that they do. Cool. We're probably in the strength speed kind of scenario. And that's the upper echelons of that. So it probably looks more like your strength rep than your like body weight rep. that's how you divide them, not being like people get technical. Like I've got this data stuff about like VBT, which I separate people into clients and try to get them to hit certain like meters per second speeds on their bar. But you can just fucking do it by eye. That looks like that. Cool. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's just intent. But you can still do
does it
freeze.
look more like strength or speed? And there you go.
Yeah.
There's the answer. Yeah.
Literally that. And it's like, oh, when's it cross over? Oh, shut up. No. That doesn't matter that much. No. I don't know what weights I'm lifting, Tom. Okay. But that's a big part. And you can still do your freeze twos ones, but you just do them at 60% instead of the 90% that you were doing. Still going to be the same intensity. You just won't get as beat up. Basically, you do it more, the recovery scores will be better. But the hybrid style training, yeah, I think it's just I think you're picking on I think that people just need to do it longevity, right? Don't flip flop so much in terms of what you want to do, because I wouldn't say like I've always done cycles and stuff like that with my training, but in terms of hybrid, I wouldn't say I've been properly hybrid training at all. But the running stuff, I think, people are really getting into. So like long distance running. Obviously, we had James Blarchard on, and he's gone like full into it, right? He absolutely loves it. The guy is fucking stacked. But he's also, I think it's also, you go that way, you get like really strong powerlifting, bodybuilding, blah, blah, blah. And then you end up doing the endurance running. Doesn't tend to go the other way. But I haven't seen a lot of like Mo Farah types and gone, all right, I need to get into proper powerlifting now. Doesn't seem to be going that way.
No. I think it's because powerlifters do recognize that they're not the healthiest people in the world. You know, they get out of breath walking upstairs and stuff like that. Whereas I don't think Mo Farah is ever like, oh, I couldn't carry this really big heavy car. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think it's because you probably recognize it more in yourself that you need to kind of focus on that and maybe do it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a new style as well. I think, I don't know if you're listening, Clara, she's a bodybuilder that I've taken on, and her whole week has been it's exposing yourself to like new training, right? She's literally like throughout this week, and it hasn't been a test in any kind of way. I've just gone, it's a learning opportunity for some of her like stuff. She was looking at like programs that I've given her, and I'll be honest, they're, in my programming thing, they're pretty basic. You would look at them, Dan, and be like, that's fine. It's just a phase 2. Cool. Absolutely fine. But from the bodybuilding world, she was like, what the fuck is this? There's like 3 exercises that I understood what they were. And it's just like, okay, cool. There's this big wide world out there, which you're allowed to explore in terms of training as well. So it can be for the hybrid style. You can go do it. Instead of trying to make people vomit doing, would you say in terms of, that is interesting. That's like the HIIT training has gone away, isn't it? I feel.
Yeah.
It is starting to fuck off, right?
No, it's just morphed into stupid classes, doesn't it, really?
Do you want a surefire way, guys, to make someone throw up? Basically do as many burpee broad jumps or like lower body things and go straight into battle ropes, into walking lunges, back into battle ropes, and just to make the blood shunt from one end of your body to the other end to the other, and you are guaranteed to make somebody throw up. That's how you get somebody fatigued.
Yep, easy.
Anybody can make it. And people are like, yeah, we got him. No, you just did upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower in conditioning cycle. So yeah, and it's probably not a good thing to do most of the time. Yeah. Hey, I'm sure. Let's do tails of the PT. What was the first class you did? Or what was the worst class you did? Because you've definitely done one, I'm sure.
I'm sure I had to do a fucking skiing one. I think my first one was, I got asked to do like, it was a specific ski. It was a skiing one. I had to teach a class. So basically it was like just before the ski season, it was like 8 weeks to ski fit or something like that. Who did I cover that for? No, I didn't cover it for anyone. I did it for 8 weeks and I stopped fucking doing it. I think Harry Norman took it over from me.
Oh, really?
Because I had someone complain it was too hard. I remember because she used to complain about everything. It was one of those where it's like, oh, my DOMS was too bad. I thought, oh, okay, well, you're just not strong enough, fair enough. And it was literally just body weight stuff, and she fucking couldn't do it. I remember. I never forget her face. Fucking yeah.
I imagine it was probably with you. It's just like a bunch of like isometric squats and holds and stuff like that, and just like down there. Now you got to hold that squat position for a while.
Pretty much, yeah. And then just like single leg squatting movements, single leg squatting patterns, get your glutes real strong. That was it, pretty much. TRX rows, superset with all that shit. And I was like, right, cool, yeah, do that now, all the way around for a whole hour. Keep doing that. Like, I used to hate classes, man. I used to fucking hate them so much.
It's interesting because you obviously like from football. Did you not enjoy like taking warm ups in like essentially a class environment?
No.
Like no.
I hated it. I hated it at cricket as well because they knew what I did. They would always be looking, oh, you can take the ball. I'd be like, I fucking want to do it all day for fucking work. I don't fucking do more fitness shit. We had to chill out. So yeah, that was always fun.
I used to do that. I had to do that at football as well. They'd be like, oh, Tom, can you take pre-season? I was like, no. I'm going to comment on how shit your pre-season is, but I don't want to do it. So it'll be absolutely fine. It was always funny. My classes, I've done a range of them. I remember doing NTC, was Nike Training Club. I remember covering that. You must have covered that on like a Saturday or something like that, a Saturday shift.
No.
At some point. Did you ever do that? We were meant to use the app, like literally get the Nike Training Club app up, because that's where unfortunately, I'm going to throw you under the bus here, the females, it was all females in that club, like class. And they were like, oh yeah, we're meant to use the app. And funnily enough, one of my clients was in there. And I was like, she was just looking at me like, what are you doing, Tom? I was like, yeah, well, we're not going to use that. Let's do as many hit thrusts as possible. Let's get those out of the way. Let's do a shit ton of squats. And then we're going to get you talking to each other. So I'm going to make you jump over each other and then crawl and then do shit like that. They're fun. At least they go into like a pike position or something like that. And I was like, oh, you got to raise your hips up. You can't drop your hips in that position. Otherwise you're going to fall on Betty. I don't know who they were. There wasn't many Bettys in Marylebone. Who would it be? No. Like I don't know. What's that? Margot was then a fall down or something like that. Definitely wasn't Margot. My client found it fucking hilarious. I still remember, but yeah. I don't think I got many complaints in classes. I quite enjoyed them. I'm sure I didn't make them that hard. Clearly.
Clearly not. I fucking did.
The amount of Watt Bike, I'm sure I got complaints over my music choices in Watt Bike. Definitely, because there was one class I just decided to play Disney soundtrack like the whole time, which had various different Disney things. And I was just like, it doesn't really matter what you're listening to, guys. It's fine. I'm going to talk you through this anyway. So I might as well just shove the podcast on. So you then listen to get my listens up. So within a flick through every 10 seconds, so it logs as a listen. Different like shows.
Anything to get the listens up.
Yeah, interesting. All right, Dan. All right, we're going to do a little bracket, and you've got to come up with something right now. And in terms of the PT world and equipment world, because I was just getting annoyed with somebody who was using a Bosu ball today. Right, so shit that we got to get rid of, and I've got 4. We've got to come up with 4 more, and then we'll go bracket and we'll order them. Okay. So we've got Bosu ball so far. So this is like equipment that's like, or something you'd find in the gym that's probably not fantastic. So we've got Bosu ball, Theragun, cable cuffs. They're funny. And a Smith machine so far.
Oh, okay. We've got what are those like rubber tubes called? With the handles on?
Vipers.
Viper.
Nice.
That's a Viper. Battle ropes. I'm gonna throw it in there. Fuck it. I think they're useless. What else are we going to throw in there? I'm going to throw in a foam roller.
Foam roller.
Yeah.
These are your choices. So you could.
Let's throw in an elliptical. Fucking hate them. I think they're a waste of time.
They are probably one of the worst.
because they're also the biggest cardio machine. They take up the most space, and they do the least amount for anyone. I've never known anyone have a good workout on one of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, just lazy people. They don't get sweaty. You don't do anything on them. That's all I associate.
There's the zone 2 people, Dan. Jesus Christ.
No, because you have to go too quick on it. You can't stay on it because you have to go too quick to go zone 2 on that thing. Yeah. There you go. These are my 4 things.
I've seen a lot of, like, obviously I've assessed a lot of level 2 and level 3. And there's been a lot of cross trainer in there. I'm like,
ridiculous.
We're gonna do HIIT. I'm gonna do some HIIT training on the cross trainer. Why? What? That doesn't exist, does it? No. All right. We'll mix them up then. Cool. So bracket Theragun versus elliptical. What's keeping? What's going?
I would have to keep the Theragun.
Keeping the Theragun.
Yeah.
No elliptical. Jesus. That's shocking from you, Captain Theragun.
Well, yeah, but only because at least that kind of
Dan uses it as a sex toy, so
that's
definitely how he's keeping it. So he's got a different attachment to everybody else.
Must be it, yeah.
All right, so getting rid of the cross trainer. Is that
just awful?
So I'm confused of what I've done here. Is the cross trainer the worst thing, or the Theragun the worst thing?
No, the cross trainer is the worst thing.
All right, so we're keeping that one. So we're getting the worst piece of gym equipment. So cross trainer.
Yeah, the Theragun's going to get beaten by something else down the line. It's fine.
You can't get beaten by something else down the line. It's gone. It's
That's what I mean. No, as in the cross trainer is going to get. It's fine.
Oh, right, okay. Right. It's done, mate. Jesus. Beautiful cross trainer through to round 2. But you're excited. Okay, let's go. Bow ropes versus cable cuffs. By cable cuffs, I mean those silly things that people who say they do biomechanics do. Oh, I probably annoyed a lot of people from that comment.
I'd keep the cable cuffs.
Keep the cable cuffs. So
yeah,
as the stupid thing, or
they're going to the next round. They're going to the next round.
They're going to the next round as they're stupid. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, you have Viper versus a Bosu ball.
Oh, fucking hell, Tom.
That's like a semi-final, that one.
Surely these two should have got automatic buys to the next round. I don't even know, I would argue that there could be a physio somewhere that may want to use a Bosu ball. I don't think there's anyone anywhere that needs to use a Viper.
And I see people trying to do like sling patterning or like lateral things with the Viper, which the medicine ball does better and has more applications. So I think the only I had a rant about Bosu ball, and I think I got like 4 or 5 messages in my my inbox about people who managed to use them. I can't remember who it is. I think he listens to the show. I'm not too sure. But he explained a way of using the Bosu ball for hip thrusts. And have you seen this? So where this I thought was like, fuck me. If anybody's doing this, it's like, what are you doing? Everybody's really annoyed with you because the amount of equipment you're taking up to do your fucking hip thrusts, right? So Dan, so you get obviously the rack, you put the pins down low, and then you get a trap bar, which is the right shape to hold the Bosu ball if you were to wedge it in the trap bar. And then you would use that as the lever to do hip thrusts as your back is on there. And then obviously you need a barbell to do your hip thrusts. So you're not only taking up like all that. I was like using the trap bar, and you're using the rack that you don't need to do hip thrusts. And I was just like, I would be so pissed off if I saw that happening. Because I'd be like, well, you're using premium like real estate and equipment to do this fucking hip thrust that you're a bloke, so you might as well just do single leg ones because you're weak as piss.
Mate, people are so stupid.
I get it might be comfy, but Jesus. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next stage as a Viper, yeah?
Yeah.
Viper. And that's Viper spelt VIPR, I believe. They miss out the
I believe it is,
yeah. All right, last one. Smith machine versus foam roller.
Foam roller's stupid.
Foam roller. Mate, I would strongly argue against that.
Go on then.
I just like them. I like desensitizing myself. The Smith machine has use for calf raises.
Mm-hmm. Hack squatting.
Right, well,
hip thrusting.
You can use a wall for a hack squat, mate.
Hip thrusts.
Use
hip
my
thrusts.
Great. It's just shit. They're for people who
Good for Bulgarian split squats as well. Nice and stable.
They're a good handle for real other loads. That's good for doing other things.
Smith machine has got more uses than a foam roller. So
Jesus, has it? Who's then your you're weak as piss hamstrings, mate.
You could do inverted rows. You could do inverted rows on a Smith machine.
You could do an inverted row with a foam roller round a barbell.
Nah.
Fine. What about all those? I love just rolling on one.
I only picked it because I know you like them as well.
I know. No. Well, it's got a bit. All right. Going through then, we got cross trainer versus cable cuffs is the semi-final.
Cross trainer is more stupid.
Cross trainer is more stupid. Wow. Jesus. Cable cuffs. I always find that funny. Just the application of just like, how long does it take you to train? Jesus.
Yeah, it's just how optimal do you need to be as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it really necessary to be that optimal?
It is. Got to do it. Viper versus foam roller.
Viper's worse.
Viper's worse because it basically is a foam roller and tries to be something else.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's a foam roller with all right. So we've got cross trainer versus Viper is the final, mate. Which is the stupidest piece? Which one are you keeping? Which one do you get rid of? Which cannot be in your gym when you open your Dubai Dan Meat facility?
Viper, surely.
The Viper.
I think they've got to be the worst out of all them.
Instead of the cross trainer. At least the cross trainer you can watch TV sometimes. So.
Well, yeah, those Vipers are just completely
Viper,
useless.
Worst gym equipment going. And I guarantee whoever has used one has also called themselves a functional fitness coach before.
Yes, 100%.
I remember getting told by someone who was doing a lecture I was in, and I think I was doing the lecture and I was explaining a lot of these fundamentals of S&C and stuff like that. And then after the lecture, this person came up to me and said, thanks for the lecture, blah, blah, blah. What you've said is fine, but I think my training is a little bit more progressive than what you've just explained. I like to use Vipers and Med Balls and all that. I was like, cool, crack on. Don't listen. Don't apply anything I've just told you because you're a lost cause. Yeah. Explaining progressive overload in a lecture and your training is more progressive. Good.
You're using Vipers, yeah.
I use batshit crazy equipment. Basically, you just said I use gimmicky equipment. And that's what's good. All right, Daniel. Any other business?
Not from me, no.
Not from me. If you want to buy Daniel a Viper, I will take one to Dubai.
Brilliant.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah.